Hey, Theater Inspires. Welcome to Make It Sparkle, a series to get ideas and inspiration for your theater and dance shows. This video is about acting, and it features Robyn Cohen. Robyn has been acting professionally for over 25 years in theater, film, and television. She was on the national tour of Cabaret, has been in works of playwrights like Shakespeare, David Mamet, John Patrick Shanley, and the list really does go on and on. Robyn also appeared opposite Bill Murray in Wes Anderson's The Life Aquatic. Robyn is super passionate about acting, as you'll see, and she's also a wonderful teacher of the craft. Hope you enjoy this and get some fresh ideas.
I am preparing myself for an audition to be in this, to play a part opposite, John Travolta and like all these big rights. So that's a different kind of day than when I'm preparing for, let's say, John Patrick Shanley's play live on stage. Technically, it's different. However, to be honest, Mitch, regardless of the medium, my days are very, in some ways, though no 2 days of my career have ever actually been exactly the same because I'm always working on different material or working differently on the same material. I am highly ritualistic, deeply steeped in practices that happen 7 days a week. And what that looks like, brass tacks, listen, it's nothing fancy. I wake up and I have a meditation practice. I do a full vocal and physical warm-up for myself every day, whether I have an audition or I'm going on stage or not. So I'm in vocal class every day that I create for myself. Whether that's I'm going to have a Zoom meeting with you and I'm going to be talking to a producer or my agent, or I'm going to be going on stage that night. That's a must-have. So a full physical warm-up, a full vocal warm-up. I go outside almost every day and sort of combine some of those practices. I'm always wanting to go outside. I do a lot of, and I do hours of imagination work, whatever role I'm working on. That can look like being outside and letting myself dream about a few lines of the play and what they might mean and the implications. So I do the imagination work and the sensory work and the getting specific with the people, places, objects, and events that I'm talking about or that are in the world of the play or the screenplay. So that's about 4 or 5 hours. And then, I'm also I run an acting studio. So I would say the first 8 hours of my day are dedicated to being an actor. And then I take a siesta, and then the next 8 hours are dedicated to the operations and the running and teaching classes, but they all kind of work in tandem and in partnership. I mean, if I'm going to lead a class, you better believe I've had myself a full vocal warm-up before I lead a class. You know what I mean? That I've done my breath work, my Alexander technique, my physical work, my physical warm-up, my vocal exercises. Sometimes it's a singing class. And then I'm also in class myself. So I've been a teacher for 16 years, but I've been a student for decades and decades. I'm really a dinosaur. So, even though I'm a performer my whole life, really my favorite role is as student. Because, Mitch, we discovered over the pandemic the secret to happiness. Do you know what it is? It's progress. And every time I'm in a class or growing, as a student or in a rehearsal or on a set, that's the creative joy. Progress. So I'll probably be a student until forever. So part of my day ritualistically is training with my teachers. I have coaches I have teachers, I have voice teachers, voice specialists, I have acting teachers. I'm in a Shakespeare class right now, because I never want to rob myself of creative joy. And the creative joy is in the growing, the progress. So yeah, so ritualistically, that's what it looks like. It looks like training, arranging my instrument to grow, setting myself up to have, as much creative juice as I can squeeze from the, orange that day. And, so, and there are, a lot of it is repetitive, but it feels new every day. I've been doing some of the same jaw work and voice work exercises for 10 years, but it's new every day because you're a human being. So that means that you're like a moving target. You're a moving target. So it's never the same. And it's the same with rehearsals as well. It's why you keep going and going, because you're a different person an hour from now than you are right now. So I like to keep addressing the work and addressing and seeing it newly every time. And nowadays, if I don't have a vocal warm-up, if I don't get to arrange myself physically and open up the instrument, it's not as good a day. It's not as good a day. So, these things that we resist, on the other side of that, there's so much, there's enlightenment and freedom and expansiveness and growing. So it's worth it. I would tell the students in the community theater to break through your resistance and you're a resistance machine. So just know you're a resistance machine and then do it anyway. And you're going to find something beautiful on the other side.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have experience acting on stage and have ideas or tips to help other students of the craft, be sure to include it in the comments below.